How to get inside the minds of Wall Street. This research note from Morgan Stanley. Tesla Q3 earnings preview, plus feedback from a bull bear investor lunch. We hosted a bull bear lunch with investors yesterday in Midtown Manhattan. Sentiment around Tesla earnings estimates, the third and fourth quarter, skew cautious. Many are wondering if Tesla can grow earnings at all in 2024. For the record, I will be surprised if that doesn't happen, although not an enormous amount, potentially. The impact of Dojo and AI is difficult to quantify and easy to ignore. So it sounds like Morgan Stanley, from some of their discussions at this investor lunch, discovered a lot of folks who are disinterested in even paying attention to the potential of Tesla, Dojo, Tesla AI, FSD, robotaxis, so on. Which is about right, because it's Wall Street, after all. A few high-level takeaways from the lunch. Unanimous sentiment that there is downside consensus earnings revision risk for the remainder of 2023. In other words, many analysts potentially revising their estimates down in terms of earnings because volumes are lower than they might have expected. Probably fair. After all, shutdown to the refresh Model 3, potentially slower than you'd hope. Cybertruck ramp, to be expected. 2. Caution around Tesla's share price performance through the end of every time. Through the end of 2023, which is basically, 3 milliseconds from now. We're already in October. Who cares? Not me. Noted slightly less pessimistic view of Tesla's share price performance versus the market over the next 12 months. I wish they would have asked about the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20, whatever. 3. Commentary on the forward outlook was seen as more consequential than the Q3 result itself. So a lot of these investors here expecting whatever Tesla says about the near and medium term, it's going to make more of a difference in the actual financial results in Q3. 4. 2024 seen as volatile. Well, I mean, what year hasn't been for Tesla? Downside risk of volume. I really doubt this. Some think earnings potentially may not grow at all. Cybertruck. Very little enthusiasm on Tesla's next model. Now again, the whole reason I'm sharing this with you guys is to give some insight into the minds of the folks on Wall Street, the big money. Very little enthusiasm on Tesla's Cybertruck, just as deliveries are about to commence. Why? I don't know, maybe they're unaware of the 2+ million reservations, the fact that this thing is going to absolutely disrupt the automotive industry, redefine what a truck is, make a mockery of the so-called competition, act as rolling billboards, blow up on social media in viral video after viral video, become a hot toy for celebrities, rappers, athletes. I mean, never mind when these things hit work sites and people see what they can actually do. The F-150 may be in trouble. But of course, it's Wall Street, so of course there's very little enthusiasm regarding Cybertruck. If Cybertruck is delayed and ramped slowly, then Tesla will be seen as continuing to resort to price cuts, which has been the recent trend. Again, it's in there. Oh, God damn it, dude. Okay, just one more time. Tesla will make as many vehicles as they can as fast as they can, and they will sell them all for whatever is the necessary market clearing price at the time. The end. Doesn't matter if there's economic turmoil. Doesn't matter if for some strange reason there's a surge in orders and they can't keep up. It doesn't matter. They will do whatever they need to keep producing and selling as many vehicles as they can, as fast as they can. It is that simple. Now, one line I wanted to get back to. I just jumped ahead there for a reason. Teething issues seen as perpetuating Tesla's relatively stale model lineup. Oh, God damn it, bro. Okay, so 1. They've just refreshed the Model 3. Stale, my ass. Their other of the 2 volume vehicles, the Model Y, is literally the world's best-selling vehicle, period. Now, in case you haven't figured it out, Model Y and Model 3 will be mainstays for the next decade plus. Over time, their features will continue to get better, their prices will continue to come down, and they will continue to sell an absolute fuck-ton and dominate their respective categories, SUV and sedan, period. Model Y is now already at an annualized rate roughly 1 million or so vehicles per year. The world's #1 selling vehicle. It's well on its way to 2, then 3, maybe even 4 million units per year. And yes, I know that sounds crazy, because to date, the world's best-selling vehicles cap out at probably around 1 million units. But just imagine, in the future, Model Y being 20, 30, 40, 50% more affordable and better. More range, more performance, more tech, because it will happen over time. And this isn't to say that Tesla isn't also introducing a much more affordable vehicle a subsequent generation. That thing, if you think a few million units per year sounds ridiculous for Model Y, you have no fucking idea what is going to happen when Tesla's next-gen $25,000-ish vehicle comes out. So the idea that Tesla has a stale vehicle lineup, this is ridiculous. The S and X were recently refreshed. The plaid versions exist. You can now literally play Elden Ring in a Tesla. Also, go 0 to 60 faster than most of you people go 0 to... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not usually that fast. Sorry. And with the refresh Model 3, Highland, now in some regions and soon, that will also be available in the US. And like, what's stale? The only thing they could possibly be referring to is the Model Y, which has recently had a minor update in China and is the world's best-selling car. And, spoiler alert, we'll also get a Highland-esque Model 3 refresh soon. But it would be insane for Tesla to make refreshes to the 3 and Y at the exact same time because they would lose a staggering amount of production in the quarter, obviously. So, what are they talking about when they refer to Tesla having a stale... Oh, I know, the name. Why don't they change the name? Okay, here's a good idea. So, when they refresh the Model 3, what they should have done is called it the Model 4 because now it's new. Morons. Why is it that Apple still calls it the iPhone? Oh, I didn't think about that. As I said, these are mainstay products. They'll be around for a long time. They'll continue to do high volume. There's nothing stale about them. But of course, in Wall Street world, again, the reason I'm going through this is to give you some insights. My best interpretation of this is, well, Tesla needs 12 different models yesterday. Otherwise, it's stale. The Model 3 came out in 2017 and nothing about it has changed since then. Therefore, stale. Model Y 2020. It's been nearly 4 years the Model Y has been available and nothing's changed. Stale. The Model S came out in 2012. It's been over a decade. Nothing's changed. Stale. You get the point. I feel bad for these people sometimes. However, if Tesla announced a launch event and the start of production with Q3 results, e.g. Cybertruck, this could be seen as positive for the stock. Now, I'll be very surprised, very, very, very surprised if we don't have a first delivery event for Cybertruck by the end of this year. For those of you playing along at home, you might recall the Cybertruck unveil was in November 2019. I'm sure Tesla internally would have been hoping to, and by the way, hope's not a strategy, but aspirationally hoping to have first deliveries coincide with the unveil. Whether or not that happens, who knows? But with earnings less than a week away, I'm sure, almost certain, maybe like 90% chance that we will hear a date for first Cybertruck deliveries, or at least mention that it will happen later this year. After all, the recent Tesla Cybertruck Baja footage showed that they're doing testing now. Now, I'm not suggesting there'll be a lot of Cybertrucks delivered, maybe the first 69 or something like that, but it's very likely that Cybertruck deliveries, first deliveries, will be later this year. And 6. And this is just, goddamn it, again, the reason I read this is just to get inside the head of these folks on Wall Street. Really not much interest in Dojo or Tesla's AI and FSD efforts. Again, this is going to unlock a decatrillion-dollar opportunity. I'm unaware of any greater opportunity in the history of public markets coming out of almost nowhere, almost overnight, relatively speaking. The profound implications, financially, socially, everything will change. Let's read that one more time. From the investors at this bull bear lunch. Really not much interest in Dojo or Tesla's AI and FSD efforts. What planet are these folks on? It boggles the mind. I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of interest after the fact. As I said, when they finally get turkey slapped in the face, when the first robotaxis awaken, or when Dojo as a service comes online and starts printing insane money like AWS. By the way, for those who don't know, Amazon Web Services is absolutely carrying Amazon, the company, their profitability, everything. Carrying the company. They have very, very thin margins on products that they sell online, right? Amazon Web Services, by the way, that was a huge catalyst for Amazon stock exploding back in the day. Yet, no interest in that, nor Tesla's real-world AI, nor the robotaxis. It boggles the mind. Again, I kind of feel like these folks on Wall Street, especially the analysts, see themselves as weather reporters telling people what happened today. Oh yeah, we're studying in the... as opposed to what they believe will happen. Not weather forecasters, weather reporters just telling us what's already occurred. Cool story, bro. Thanks for letting us know after the fact when everyone already saw the opportunity. Still just a head scratcher. I mean, bro, how can there not be interest? Like, you would think if these folks had any idea what they were doing, they would at least be asking the questions, trying to understand if there's something here. But it seems that they're not even interested in that. They have the opportunity to talk to the folks at Morgan Stanley, who recently published a note with a huge price target increase on Tesla based on Dojo. And what are they more interested in? 2024 Q3 results, whether Cybertruck will be delayed, Tesla's stale product lineup, and earnings might be a bit lower than expected over the short term. Madness. Why? Why are they not interested? Well, it is difficult to predict the event path, and because it's difficult and hard to measure, let's just ignore it. Idiots. General concern that Tesla's approach to autonomy is risky with it. Fucking idiots. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, I'm just leaving that in. General concern that Tesla's approach to autonomy is risky with respect to relying on passive optical cameras relative to other FSD efforts. Is there like, I don't know, maybe there's a term for this, but I kind of feel like when your IQ gets high enough, odds are you go one of two ways. You have a forking event. You either become a super intelligent genius who just absolutely wins at life on everything and dominates. You build multi-billion-dollar companies. You invent products, technologies. You absolutely kill it. Or you turn into like a savant who has extremely narrow abilities. You might be really good at math or something, but understanding something like passive optical versus the LiDAR, and you just like, Tesla's the very risky strategy. Is it just me? Is there a word for this? I mean, these folks, these analysts, they're no morons, at least academically. But when it comes to the real world, bro, we've been over this. I'm not going to go there again. Tactical thoughts ahead of Tesla's Q3, due post-close next Wednesday, October 18th. Units already disclosed by Tesla at 435,000, which was approximately a 5% miss versus consensus. Revenue, we forecast. Average transaction price, aka ASP, 44,500 per unit, driving our estimate of $19.4 billion in auto revenue and $23.3 billion in group revenue for the third quarter. Gross margin, Wall Street's favorite talking point. Excluding ZEV credits, we forecast underlying auto gross margin falling to 17.5% versus 18.1% last quarter and 19% in Q1. ZEV credits, historically unpredictable, but we see scope for ZEV credit revenue to play a larger role over the next year as some high volume competing EV plans may be dialed back. Again, we just need to take a moment. These zero emission vehicle credits are literally Tesla's supposed competition, the companies that Tesla will indirectly and inadvertently and unintentionally put out of business. Their so-called competition paying Tesla money to build more factories, to make more vehicles, to do more R&D, to drive the prices of their vehicles down, to make them more compelling, to, put these companies out of business. The irony of ironies. This is basically like paying someone to fuck your wife, and not being one of those people who has a fetish for that shit, but paying somebody to fuck your wife that you'd rather nobody fucked your wife other than you. Operating profit. Our Q3 forecast of GAAP operating margin is 9.3% versus 9.6% in 2Q and 11.4% in Q1. Still industry leading. EPS, our US GAAP EPS estimate is 56 cents versus 78 cents in Q2 and 72 in Q1. Consensus Q3 GAAP estimate at 65 cents. So a big gap between consensus and Morgan Stanley there. Cash flow, we forecast just under $1 billion of free cash flow in the quarter, roughly flat on a sequential basis versus Q2. Tell you what, guys, I wish I was cash flowing $1 billion per quarter. Be nice. We agree with the consensus that the performance of Tesla stock following the print will likely be driven by comments on the forward outlook and how that may move consensus up, down, or neutral for 2024. Translation, if Tesla's very positive and bullish, stock goes up. If they're cautious, stock goes down. Of course, time will tell. I really wouldn't read into it too much. Certainly, if you had to make a bet, you'd bet if Tesla has really negative guidance, sure, it might have an adverse effect. But bro, the number of times that Tesla stock reacts counterintuitively seems more often than not. This is, after all, the very same stock that opened 2023 at $108 per share and is currently $262 per share, despite the competition coming, prices collapsing, margins collapsing, earnings collapsing, delivery volumes collapsing. You get it, right? The point? There's not that much of a correlation between Tesla performance versus expectations and the actual stock. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of quadrillionaires on Wall Street who'd predicted things. Oh, well, the earnings are going to go down, therefore the stock must go down. Again, I just want to put it on the record. Tesla stock this year up nearly 150%. Once again, it opened at $108 per share. It's now $262.99. If you want to be exact, it's up almost 142.69% for the year, despite estimates coming down all year. How's that work? Answer, it's Tesla stock. This is why I just buy and hold. Anyway, fascinating insight into the minds of the folks on Wall Street here. Some of this shit just does my head in, bro. One more time. Really not much interest in Dojo or Tesla's AI and FSD efforts because it's hard to predict. And more hilarious than that, general concern that Tesla's approach to autonomy is risky with respect to relying on passive optical camera relative to other FSD efforts. You know, LiDAR, geofencing, pre-map in HD. I mean, bro, it's just hilarious. Plus, very little enthusiasm on Tesla's Cybertruck. What a clown show. Is it any reason these folks on average, the Wall Street analysts on average, have completely missed Tesla since it IPO'd and just not understood the story and been constantly chasing after it, having the stock surge through periods of time, goes flat for a few years, then absolutely rockets up? Suddenly their price target's like 30% of what the stock is. That's awkward. Let's reverse engineer an excuse for why our price target's now tripling overnight because we don't want to be embarrassed. I think this is going to continue for years to come because they still don't get FSD or Robotaxi or AI or Dojo, and around the corner, Optimus. I don't think anyone on Wall Street understands that either. Don't forget, if you guys would like to see my thoughts for Optimus, First Robotaxi Awakening and the financial impact that has on Tesla, head over to Patreon, check out my valuation model available to supporters at the investor level and above. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. You get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.